And we're nearly there. Last but not least, the last team to pitch is VerumView. VerumView provides a KYC service that uses the contents of your email inbox.
Hello, everyone. Yes? Okay. My name is Jonathan Puzzy. I'm 37 years old. I live in Zalman Schnell Street, number 6 in Tel Aviv. Who's willing to lend me £500 right now? I'll pay you back in 30 days. No one. Okay. And if I were to share my credit score, do you feel like you know me now? No? All right. Well, if you're an online lender, you have to answer that question using pretty much this set of data. Hundreds, thousands, if you're a big player, tens of thousands of times per day. And it's a very hard question to answer, and I know this because both me and my co-founders come from a very long background of online risk management. Some of it for lenders, some of it for payment companies. And over the years, as I said, it's a very, very hard question to answer, and in no place is that difficulty reflected more than the accept rate. If you're talking about consumer online lending globally, the average accept rate for new customers is around 10%. Right? 1 out of 10 gets accepted. And it's not that the other 9 are bad. It's 1 is verifiably good, 2 are verifiably bad, and the largest group, by far, are the unknowns. All right? These are statistically gray cloud. We know some of them are good. We know some of them are bad. We can't really tell the difference, which effectively means we're going to decline them, because the default hurts us a lot more than a decline. And this is not because lenders don't know what they're doing. The best minds in the industry have sat down with this data, and this is the best we can do right now. So in order to prove more, we need more data. And where can we get it? Well, our answer is the inbox. Everything we do online, and a lot of what we do offline, leaves some sort of record in our inbox. Our addresses, our contact information, our purchases, where we travel, who we contact, what advertisements we get. It's all there. It's a treasure trove of information, and most people don't even realize how much data there is there. And if you can access it, as we can, you can do a lot more. We've developed an API-based tool that integrates into an existing lender's online application, which allows the lender to ask the borrower, please connect to your inbox. It's a 2-click process with no password exchange. It's based on OAuth 2. And once that permission is given, our system goes in, algorithmically scans the content, in under 10 seconds, compiles everything it finds into a report, which it sends to the lender. And some of those data points are actually unique to the inbox. You won't find them anywhere else. And using that data, we're able to answer 3 major questions, what every online lender wants to know. Is the data I'm getting real? Is the person at the keyboard who they actually claim to be? And, well, can they pay me back? And our variables aim to answer that question. And using them, well, we can look at those unknowns in a whole new light. And we can approve more of the good ones, and we can decline more of the bad ones. Now, this sounds nice in theory, and I'm sure some of you are sitting there thinking, first off, who's going to give email access? 60% of them do. And you're wondering, does it actually work in real life? Well, we just finished our first large-scale real-world pilot of over 12,000 reports sent. And I'm happy to report we were able, with our pilot partner, to increase the accept rate 2-folds, while actually having the default rate. Right, this sounds ambitious. I do have the numbers to prove it, and these results were good enough for the customer to continue and become our first paying customer. In under a year, we've had tremendous response from the market, and the technology is here. The need is absolutely there, and customer willingness, borrower willingness to share data about themselves to show that they're good is at an all-time high. We believe we're on the verge of changing fundamentally the way loans are approved online, evaluated and approved. And right now, we're seeking the funds to allow us to take this product to as many markets as possible, as fast as we can. And at this point, I'm pretty certain you have a lot of questions, so the floor is yours. Thank you.
Where do I start? How do you bring the regulator along with you?
Well, it was bound to be asked. Opt-in. Don't be a dick with the data, basically. Have it as an opt-in system. Be transparent about what you get. Don't be the only one. We don't aim to replace traditional credit bureaus, although in at least some of our customers, there is no credit bureau. We're the only one there. And don't sell third-party data, basically. We are in line with GDPR. We are in line with local regulation everywhere we work.
And how do you think about, why take the B2B approach here as opposed to using this to start up another
I'm
lender
sorry, I didn't get
yourselves?
that.
Why you sell us as a software to banks instead of setting this up as your own lending entity?
Well, first off, we're not looking at banks right now. We're looking at short-term lenders where the need is highest. Because banks, let's be honest, they know their customer quite well. Short-term lenders don't. The notable exception here is Bankia in Spain. They can't really loan to anyone who's not a bank customer because they don't know anything about them. They decline tremendous amounts of them, so we're going to be doing a POC with them. And we're not going to be establishing our own lending operation. First off, a lot of bureaucracy, which honestly we're not equipped to handle at the moment. And this is global. If we go and lend, almost by definition, we're going to be a local operation.
What's the pricing model?
We charge per report. Base price is $1 per report. It drops down with volumes, obviously. It drops, I think the minimum amount over 20,000 reports a month comes down to $0.50 per report. The value proposition is fairly simple. You're going to pay if you're a 30,000 report a month customer. It's going to come out around $250,000 a year, but we're going to help you double or triple your accept rate.
How do you prevent, so for example, if I'm a gambler online, what prevents me massaging my inbox? Once I know that this is what you look at, what stops me?
Nothing much, except saying it's going to be a lot of very hard work. One of the things we do is we look at the age of the emails themselves, the timestamps on the server. You can do cleaning house, basically. But unless you're very careful about that, we can tell that you've cleaned house, which is a very strong indicator by itself.
There's a question from the audience.
In Europe, at least, are you not going to face very significant competition under PST and open banking? Because a lot of these guys are going to be able to, with your permission, go in and view your complete bank history and therefore get a complete bank record of you. So in fact, rather than, they'll be able to tell from that all of your expenditure and incomes, and also meet the requirement under lending now to ensure that you have the ability to repay. And that's another requirement there. So in Europe, surely you're going to, I can see this in developing markets being very strong, but in the more European markets, PSD2 is going to be a major competitor for you, surely.
Absolutely. Well, it's a complex answer. First off, yes, it is competition. It is localized to Europe at this point. Quite a lot of the data points, such as where the person works, their role is, etc., are they looking for a job right now, is stuff that we can provide but is not available under the bank. And last but not least, once PSD is actually implemented, we can take the same expertise we've put into analyzing emails and taking verifiable and actionable insight to the bank. So for us, we treat it as an opportunity for just another product.
Do you have any patents around this, or could...
We have one patent under review right now, yes.
Time's up. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Thank you.
VerumView. And thank you to all the 8 companies.